Vulnerability fuels dreams because to dream big is to step into a space where there are no guarantees, only possibilities, and possibilities always carry the weight of uncertainty, risk, and the chance of falling short. It's easy to dream safely, to want things that sit within the boundaries of what we already know we can achieve. But those are not the dreams that stretch us, transform us, or inspire others. Big dreams demand that we expose ourselves to the world and to ourselves, to take what matters most in our hearts and hold it up for all to see, knowing some may not understand, some may criticize, and some may even dismiss us. Vulnerability is the courage to stand in that space without armor, to accept that we might stumble, to allow the possibility of failure to coexist with the possibility of greatness. Without vulnerability, dreams shrink to fit into comfort zones, and comfort zones are where potential goes to sleep. But when we lean into vulnerability, we invite growth, we allow ourselves to be beginners, we risk imperfection, and we discover that failure is not an enemy, but a teacher shaping us into the kind of person capable of holding the dream we're chasing. Vulnerability strips away the illusion of control and forces us to trust the process, to keep moving even when the path is foggy, to keep believing even when doubt screams louder than hope. Every great achievement carries a story of someone who risked being misunderstood, rejected, or even laughed at, but chose to stay open, to stay brave, to keep dreaming anyway, and it is precisely that openness that turned fragile hope into powerful reality. Vulnerability makes room for authenticity, because we cannot dream big while pretending to be someone we are not. It requires us to show up fully, to voice what we long for even when it feels too much, to put our whole selves on the line in pursuit of something bigger than fear. And though vulnerability feels like weakness, it is in truth the very birthplace of strength, because only those who are willing to risk being seen can ever experience the fullness of living out a dream that once felt impossible. When we embrace vulnerability as the fuel of our dreams, we stop waiting for certainty and start moving with courage, realizing that the risk of failure is always smaller than the regret of never trying. Permission to want more is one of the most powerful yet difficult choices a person can make, because so often we are conditioned to accept what is given, to settle for what is comfortable, or to limit our desires to what others believe is possible for us. And yet dreaming big demands that we break free from those boundaries and give ourselves the freedom to imagine a life that stretches far beyond what feels safe or expected. Wanting more is not greed. It is an acknowledgement of potential, a recognition that there is a deeper calling within us that refuses to be silenced by fear, doubt, or the voices that tell us to stay in line. When we grant ourselves permission to dream beyond the ordinary, we begin to dismantle the invisible walls of limitation built by tradition, comparison, or fear of judgment. And in that act, we reclaim the right to shape a life that feels meaningful and alive. It takes courage to say, "I want more," because it means admitting that where you are now, though it may be comfortable, is not enough to satisfy the vision burning inside you. And that truth will challenge not only you, but also those around you who may feel threatened by your ambition or unsettled by your willingness to break from the expected path. But the truth is, permission to want more is not about rejecting what you have. It is about refusing to shrink yourself to fit into a box that was never designed for your full potential. It is about honoring the dreams that make your heart beat faster and trusting that desire itself is evidence of possibility. So many people silence their dreams before they even begin because they fear disappointment. They fear being seen as ungrateful. They fear that wanting more means they are unworthy of what they already hold. But the opposite is true. Giving yourself permission to want more is an act of gratitude, because it means you understand life is a gift too precious to be wasted on playing small. It is in the space of daring to want more that innovation is born, that breakthroughs happen, that lives are transformed, not because the dream was easy, but because someone chose to honor it rather than bury it. The moment you give yourself that permission, you stop asking the world for approval and start creating from a place of authenticity and boldness. And in that shift, you begin to see that the only limits that truly exist are the ones you've agreed to live under. To want more is to say yes to possibility, yes to growth, yes to a life that stretches you beyond what feels safe into the unknown where extraordinary becomes possible. And though it may be uncomfortable, it is in that discomfort that you discover who you were always meant to be. Resilience is the companion of big dreams because every vision worth chasing will test your patience, your faith, and your endurance, demanding that you rise again and again, no matter how many times you are pushed to the ground. For setbacks are not signs that the dream is impossible, but rather training grounds shaping you into the kind of person capable of carrying it. When we dream big, we often imagine the end goal in its glory, but the truth is that the path is rarely straight. It bends, it breaks, it wounds, and yet every fall, every disappointment, and every closed door carries within it the hidden lesson of resilience, a muscle that strengthens only when it is used. Without setbacks, we remain fragile, easily swayed by failure, but with resilience we become steady, rooted deeply enough to withstand storms without losing sight of the horizon. Each obstacle we face is not just a delay, but an invitation to grow, to refine our skills, to sharpen our focus, and to deepen our commitment to what we claim we want. Resilience does not mean ignoring pain or pretending struggle does not exist. It means allowing those struggles to carve wisdom into us, to teach us how to adapt, how to persevere, and how to trust that the dream is still worth the fight even when the journey feels unbearable. Big dreams are heavy. They demand strength not only in vision but in spirit, and resilience is the companion that helps us carry that weight without collapsing. Every story of success is lined with moments of defeat that could have ended it, yet resilience kept it alive, whispering that the vision is greater than the setback. Resilience transforms rejection into redirection, failure into foundation, and waiting into preparation, reminding us that nothing is wasted when we choose to keep moving forward. To dream big without resilience is to build a castle on sand, but when resilience walks beside you, every challenge becomes a stepping stone, every delay a chance to gather strength, and every disappointment proof that you are still in the arena, still fighting for what matters. The presence of resilience ensures that the dream does not remain fragile hope, but grows into unwavering belief, because you have already weathered storms and proven to yourself that you can survive what once seemed impossible. It is in the long nights of doubt, the repeated attempts after failure, and the small choices to rise again when no one is watching that resilience is built, and with it comes the quiet, unshakable confidence that no matter how long it takes or how many times you fall, you will not quit, because the dream is not just something you want. It has become part of who you are, and resilience is what allows you to carry it all the way to the finish. Authenticity shapes the dream because the deepest and most enduring visions are not the ones borrowed from someone else's expectations or crafted to gain approval, but the ones that rise from the core of who you truly are, the ones that align with your values, your passions, and the unique rhythm of your soul. When we attempt to chase dreams that are not ours, we may achieve temporary success, but it often leaves us empty because what we are pursuing does not reflect our truth, but rather the weight of what others think we should be. True dreams require honesty, the kind of honesty that strips away the masks we wear to belong, the performances we give to feel accepted, and the roles we play to avoid disappointment. Because only when we stand in the rawness of our authentic selves can we recognize the desires that genuinely matter to us. Authenticity demands courage, for it means admitting that our path may not look like anyone else's, that our timing may not align with the world's expectations, and that our definition of success may be wildly different from what is celebrated around us. But in that courage lies freedom, because when you pursue a dream that is authentically yours, the weight of comparison falls away, and you no longer measure your progress against another person's journey, but against the alignment you feel with your own truth. Authentic dreams may not always be the loudest, the biggest, or the most glamorous, but they are the most powerful because they are sustainable, rooted in who you are, and resilient against the changing opinions of others. They are the kind of dreams that you can carry even through hardship because they come from a place of integrity rather than performance, and they give you a sense of fulfillment that cannot be taken away by criticism or failure. Authenticity shapes the dream by ensuring that what you pursue will nourish your spirit rather than drain it, because you are not forcing yourself to live someone else's vision, but allowing your own to guide you. It requires self-reflection, the willingness to listen to your inner voice, to honor what excites you, even if it confuses others, and to trust that your unique path holds meaning that only you can bring into the world. To dream authentically is to stop asking who you should be and start asking who you already are, then building from that truth. It is an act of integrity to say, this is what I want, this is who I am, and this is the life I will create, regardless of whether it fits into the mold set before me. When authenticity is the foundation of your dream, you not only chase something that matters, but you also become someone who lives fully aligned. And in that alignment, the dream ceases to be just a goal to achieve. It becomes an expression of your truest self. Dreams thrive in connection because while the seed of a vision may begin within us, its growth depends on the nourishment of relationships, encouragement, and belief that comes from those willing to walk alongside us, reminding us of our strength when doubt clouds our path. To dream big is often to stand in territory that feels lonely, but connection transforms that loneliness into shared courage, turning fragile hope into unstoppable momentum. No one climbs mountains entirely alone. Even the strongest dreamers need voices that say keep going when the weight of setbacks threatens to silence their resolve. Connection provides not just support but perspective, offering wisdom when we cannot see clearly, offering belief when our own faith falters, and offering accountability when we are tempted to quit. It is in the presence of people who genuinely celebrate our vision that we find the confidence to risk more, to rise again after falling, and to stretch further than we thought possible, because their faith in us strengthens the belief we hold in ourselves. Dreams that stay hidden often wither, but when spoken into trusted spaces, they take on new life, becoming larger than just our private ambition, and transforming into a shared mission that others help nurture. Connection creates a circle of resilience around the dream, reminding us that we are not carrying it alone, and this shared energy multiplies our capacity to endure challenges and embrace opportunities. Big visions require not only personal dedication, but also collective encouragement, because the road is long and filled with obstacles that can feel overwhelming if faced in isolation. Yet with connection, those same obstacles become shared battles, victories, and lessons. To invite others into our dream is an act of vulnerability because it means opening ourselves to the possibility of rejection or misunderstanding, but it also opens us to the extraordinary gift of being fully seen and fully supported. When we surround ourselves with those who believe in our vision, who speak life into it, and who hold us steady when fear shakes us, our dreams expand beyond what we could achieve on our own, fueled by the strength of unity and shared belief. Connection does not diminish the individuality of the dream, it amplifies it, weaving it into a larger fabric of purpose that impacts not just us, but everyone touched by the journey. To dream big is to recognize that while the vision begins with you, its growth and impact are magnified by the community that carries it forward. And in that connection, the dream not only survives but thrives, becoming more powerful, more resilient, and more alive than it could ever be in isolation. Action makes dreaming real because no matter how vivid, inspiring, or powerful a vision may be, it will remain nothing more than an idea unless it is met with consistent steps that give it form and momentum. For dreaming big is the spark that lights the fire, but action is the fuel that keeps it burning. So many people carry extraordinary dreams inside them, but never see them unfold because they wait for the perfect time, the perfect plan, or the perfect conditions, not realizing that perfection is the enemy of progress, and that greatness is built not in one grand leap, but in the quiet, persistent discipline of daily effort. Action transforms intention into evidence, it turns hope into movement, and it builds a bridge between imagination and reality, showing us that even the smallest step forward is infinitely more powerful than the grandest dream left untouched. Each action taken, no matter how small, compounds over time, building resilience, skill, and momentum that cannot be created by wishing or waiting. Action gives shape to clarity. We often think we need certainty before moving, but it is movement itself that sharpens our vision, teaches us what works, and reveals what we are truly capable of. A dream without action is like a seed left on a shelf. It may hold infinite potential, but it will never grow, never blossom, never bear fruit until it is planted, watered, and tended to with steady hands. Action also silences fear, because the mind can create endless doubts when standing still. But once you move, fear loses its grip as progress, however small, replaces paralysis. Big dreams can feel overwhelming when viewed in their entirety, but action allows us to break them down into steps that are manageable, teaching us to celebrate progress instead of perfection. Every great achievement we admire in history is not just the product of vision, but of relentless action, late nights, early mornings, sacrifices, and choices repeated over and over until the dream stood alive. Action builds credibility with yourself, because each step is a promise kept, a signal to your own heart and mind that you are serious about the life you want to create. Dreams inspire, but action transforms. Dreams ignite passion, but action sustains it. Dreams give direction, but action makes the path visible beneath your feet. To dream big without action is to hold a map without ever beginning the journey. But when you choose to move, even clumsily, even slowly, you set forces in motion that align with your vision and carry you further than imagination alone could take you. In the end, the power of dreaming big lies not in the size of the vision, but in the willingness to honor it through action, to turn the invisible into the tangible, and to prove through steps taken daily that what once lived only in your mind now breathes in the world around you.